Never has the phrase, out with the old, in with the new, had truer meaning than tonight. And not just new, but radically new. The most cutting-edge procedures that often don't involve any cutting at all. Today, women and men are adding, subtracting, and multiplying like never before. So let's take it away. Everything you want to change about yourself. Over 50% of Americans would like to have their appearance enhanced through cosmetic procedures.
Looking older than you feel? You can do something about it.
This is now a $10 billion a year business.
When you look good, you feel good.
And the come-ons are everywhere.
Transform for a more confident you.
In record numbers, we are being cut, stretched, and tucked. Smooth, tapered, injected, and filled. Using the latest surgical techniques, it is now possible to get many of the same results without going under the knife at all, using radical techniques and state-of-the-art tools. Dermatologist Dr. Doris Day's book called Forget the Facelift reflects her philosophy.
I don't believe in aging gracefully. I think you have to fight it every step of the way.
Yeah. I just want the global aesthetic to be beautiful.
Yeah. When do you need a facelift? And when do you use other things like fillers or lasers?
My experience has been that you can get rid of lines and wrinkles, but that doesn't always make someone look younger. They just look smoother. What we lose over time is volume. And what we do is we very carefully, naturally, and discreetly add back volume.
48-year-old Cherie Bowman has never had any cosmetic procedures.
I never actually ever went for even a facial. I think the most steam I got was opening like a McDonald's bag and having the steam come from that.
The lines on her face showed the stress of raising a large family. Cherie Bowman and her husband have 4 children and adopted 7 more. Their outsized, multiracial musical family was featured on the show My Life as a Sitcom.
The Bowmans.
Between the children and her work as a relationship coach, Cherie never had time for herself until now. Dr. Day begins a non-surgical facelift using a new device that delivers heat to shrink the tissue under the skin.
That feel okay?
It's not a laser. It uses ultrasound, but not the kind of ultrasound you had during pregnancy. This is high-density focused ultrasound that delivers heat very deep, and that over time will give her a lift, both of the upper and the lower face.
It felt like a million needles going into my face, and it was painful.
This is where Dr. Day's artistry comes into play. First, she observes how Cherie's face moves as she talks.
When you smile, your left and right is a little bit different.
Then Dr. Day injects a combination of fillers made out of a sugary gel that adds volume to cheeks and temples.
Before, we just had a few different types of animal-based collagen, and now we have a whole palette of tools available. Now we're putting some elements deep and some elements more superficial to get a very natural approach.
So I'll put a touch in there.
Using new forms of Botox to even out her eyebrows and soften crow's feet, Dr. Day brings Cherie's face back into balance. Next, Dr. Day applies the finishing touches with a laser tool, which evens out Cherie's skin tone and texture. A procedure like this typically costs about $11,000.
You're almost there, so I just gave you a little break.
And it looks so natural.
Yes. So everyone should look at you and think you got a haircut.
But the treatment will need a few weeks to take full effect.
Okay,
in the next room, Dr. Day treats Ellen Cribben.
I'm just marking out the parameters.
Using a brand new and more powerful ultrasound tool to melt fat without surgery.
Liposonics is the newest kid on the block for helping to resculpt and melt fat.
Like liposuction, you mean?
It's like liposuction, but it's a non-surgical approach. So what it does is it uses that high-density focused ultrasound to actually heat up and melt fat.
And that's new.
And that's new. If you can pinch an inch, then liposonics will work for you.
Hi, Ellen. How are you?
In the weeks after her treatment, Ellen will lose an entire dress size.
The idea that that's reacting so well means you're really going to have a great response. And you'll notice over the next few months, your stomach will get flatter and smoother, and you'll have just more contouring.
Perfect.
Good.
And her cousin, Lauren Vincelli, who had the same treatment a month ago, has seen dramatic results.
I was a 6 before I had my liposonics, and this is a 2.
That's amazing. Is the bruising all gone?
The bruising is completely gone.
3 weeks after her visit with Dr. Day, Cherie Bowman is getting used to her new face.
Before, I noticed I'd have to pick my eyelid up to put the eyeliner on, and I don't have to do that anymore. Yeah, I'm so excited to see my friends and my family, just for the new me, the big reveal.
Then Cherie gathered her family together. 11 now grown children, a few close friends, and her husband Dave.
You look great. Absolutely stunning.
Oh, thank you.
If you have all these treatments, does this mean that you will never look old?
Well, it may not be that you never look old, but we can slow that process down in a very natural way with these procedures.
You are very lovely. Is it true that you were 98 years old?
You guessed. Oh no.
And I'm 126.
No one would believe
You'd
it.
never know.